Hey, welcome back to the Public Offender 100 channel. Thank you everybody for joining me on this journey that we on, just having a good old time. But please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you put the word out in the street and shout your boy out a couple times. Thank you. Another day, another Cam Newton, Dr. Bryant video. I mean, it's just the interview that kept on giving. Now I watched the whole interview, but I thought this part was interesting because Cam Newton clipped it. And then the title of it was like, what? Is Cam Newton trying to throw shade on Dr. Bryant for cooking him? Very, very odd this time. So as you guys can see, the title says, you're a 41-year-old relationship coach, but you're still single? Question mark, question mark. Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant debate. Right now, that's just very odd. That's a very odd title for this video. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, you wasn't saying that to her face. You definitely didn't have that energy when she was there. But let's get into it.
Time to believe a very educated, a very attractive woman out of 41 years have not met Mr. Right. That's enough time to find a lot of things out.
I bet.
And yet,
her sarcastic, I bet. That shit was beautiful. Hold on. The sarcastic, I bet. Oh man, that sent me.
I bet.
And yet, a lot of things out.
I bet.
And yet, no kids, single. I'm not, but I am saying, are women's expectations unrealistic?
She sounds like a smart woman. She sounds smarter than any of the women you impregnated and dipped on, to me. And that's no shade to them. Maybe a shade to them. I don't care. She's in a better position than a woman without a child. A single woman with no children is in a better position than a married woman with children, a married woman with a man, a single woman with children. And not because of the women, but because of the men. So yeah, there you go.
No, I'm saying, like I said, the question shouldn't be, why isn't a woman of age of success of a certain caliber not married with kids? The question should be, why are people rushing to the altar just to become divorcees of baby moms and baby daddies? I think if anything, we need to be teaching our society, take your time, young man and young woman, so that you can get to know not just this person, but yourself first, so that you can choose a life partner, not that person isn't exempt to the...
Ain't Cam Newton a 35-year-old baby daddy of many kids? Ain't 35, 41, about 6 years apart, not that bad. 35, unmarried, wealthy, been wealthy since you were 20, multiple baby mothers, tons of kids, chastising a 41-year-old single woman with no children? Cam Newton. Say it ain't so, brother.
Divorce. Instead of rushing to the altar just to become a divorcee, your baby mama and have multiple kids by multiple women, just to say you have broken families everywhere. I don't see no benefit in that.
Drinking and driving is a decision that can change the whole world. You can face in life. Altering intentionally. Yeah, your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else.
I can't stand
Whether you injure them or leave their loved ones. The next time,
what's the use?
Call a ride share, taxi, a sober.
What's the use in paying for whatever it's called if you just gonna slap the commercial in the middle? Tricky tricksters.
I believe, like I tell my brother, he's in your shame all the time, and who's 31 with no kids and doing well for himself. Take your time. You don't need to rush to an altar just to divorce this woman. And another thing is, people who actually feel high value within themselves, not financially, internally they feel high value. They're not rushing to have a wife or a husband at the expense of divorce just to feel like they add value to themselves. Because it's a deficit if you're marrying for the wrong purposes. It's an asset if you're marrying from a place of creating a family, of creating stability, of raising kids who can see this thing move and this house not be homeless, but this house have wealth in it, the real wealth that actually sustains. And so for me, I'd rather take my time choosing than end up doing time because I'm making wrong decisions. I'm good.
Say less. Next question.
Say less. How cooked him? cooked him. And it was such an, I mean, I don't know. Hey, man, maybe he made it. Maybe he just made the title just to, you know, get clicks. He knows he going to get clicks once he put her face and his face up there. Everybody want to see that clip. But he didn't really have a response to anything she said. I want to go through what she said.
Are women's expectations unrealistic?
No, women's expectations are not unrealistic. If women are comparing men to women, if women are comparing men to women, women's expectations aren't unrealistic. And what I'm saying when I say that is women aren't expecting more out of men than women are capable of giving to that women are capable of giving to men. Right? So women aren't like, oh, I want a man who is economically viable while she's homeless. Women aren't out here like, I want a man that's honest while she's lying. Women are out here like, I want a man with a low body count while she got a high body count or whatever. Like, women are like, I want a man to match me. I want a man to match my energy. That's what they're asking for. So in that regards, no, women do not have too high standards in that when you look at it through that lens. But I do think that women's expectations of men are too high. They're too high. Is that the fault of women? Absolutely not. Is it the fault of men? 1000%. What I'm saying is that women expect men to act like women, right? To have integrity, to be loyal, to be kind, to be generous. They expect, like I said, they want the energy to be reciprocated. But men are proving to be incapable of doing that in our current condition. Therefore, I will say that women have a too high expectation of men. I use that term loosely, right? You guys get what I'm saying. Of course, women don't have a too high expectation of men just to ask a man to, can you match my energy? Sounds fair to me. But with the current state of men, absolutely. Absolutely. Men we're in the dumps. We're in the dumps, period, point blank. So yeah, women, if women are expecting a man, and here's what a lot of men want. I just had a live today. This man was saying the problem is men should just accept women for who they are, and women should just accept men for who they are. And I completely disagree. Men don't have a gripe. They don't have a legitimate gripe with women. So yeah, we should accept women for who they are. But women have a huge gripe with men, and they should not accept us where we're at. And I hate that men keep trying to pull a fast one on us as society. I'm saying maybe not including myself with women. I'm just saying, like, but as a human being, stop making excuses for men and saying stuff like, well, we are what we are, and it's just natural. It's our natural state. It's natural as nature. It's natural as nature. It's not. It's conditioning. We can be better. So no, women do not have too high expectations in reality. But if you adjust it for deflation, so to speak, not inflation, if you adjust it for the human deflation, then yeah, they have a too high expectation, because men are trash right now.
Expectations unrealistic.
I'm gonna say, like I said, the question shouldn't be why isn't a woman of age of success of a certain caliber not married with kids. The question should be, why are people rushing to the altar just to become divorcees? Baby moms and baby daddies. I think
men are trying, and if I said it once, I got to mention it again. Men are simply trying to use marriage as a way to manipulate women. Cam Newton, I feel like he was shooting his shot right here, low key. At least just testing. I'm not saying on the air necessarily, but he was definitely poking and seeing if he can get up in there. But I think that men are just using marriage to manipulate women. And Cam Newton is a perfect example of that right now. He's trying to shame a 41-year-old successful woman with not being married or having kids as if something is wrong with her. When in reality, what that shows me is everything is right with her. She's content. She's content. How many married women with children are content? How many married women with children are content? Not many women with children are content. So why are you worried about this single woman who seems to be very content with being single and child free? What's the problem? Oh, you're trying to shame her? You're trying to knock her down, trying to nag her? Oh, why aren't you married? What's wrong with you? Are your expectations too high? Why don't you just settle? It's always leading back to that ultimately for men. I promise you, they're always trying to get women to settle for men that we know aren't worth a hill of beans.
If anything, we need to be teaching our society, take your time, young man or young woman, so that you can get to know not just this person, but yourself first, so that you can choose a life partner, not that that person isn't exempt to divorce, instead of rushing to the altar just to become a divorcee or a baby mama and have multiple kids by multiple women, just to say you have broken families everywhere. I don't see no benefit in that.
Drinking and driving.
There is no benefit in being married if you aren't ready to be married. There's no benefit in being married if you're not content within yourself, because ultimately it's going to lead to disaster. So she's right. I mean, nothing's wrong with being patient. Nothing's wrong with doing your due diligence. Nothing's wrong with laying a foundation for yourself, being established yourself. And I'm not talking about financially. I hardly ever talk about finances when we talk about this stuff. I'm talking about you as a person, you doing the work, the inner work, right? Nothing is wrong with that.
I believe, like I tell my brother, he's in here, Shane, all the time, and who's 31 with no kids and doing well for himself. Take your time. You don't need to rush to an altar just to divorce this woman. And another thing is people who actually feel high valued within themselves, not financially, internally they feel high valued. They're not rushing to have a wife or a husband at the expense of divorce just to feel like they've added value to themselves, because it's a deficit if you're marrying for the wrong purposes. It is an asset if you're marrying from a place of creating a family, of creating stability, of raising kids who can see this thing move and this house not be homeless, but this house have wealth in it, the real wealth that actually sustains. And so for me, I'd rather take my time choosing than end up doing time because I'm making wrong decisions.
I'd rather take my time choosing rather than doing time, because we all know men don't want soulmates, they want cellmates. Very well said, Dr. Bryant.
I'm good.
Say less. Next question. How young are you willing to go?
Ooh, I love that. See, now this is when the conversation gets good.
Come on now. We want to know that.
I'm gonna.
Because, like, look, I told you now.
Listen,
Hold on, wait, y'all. Let me back this up a little bit. Now, I just got done watching a video of Tony Gaskins.
hold on.
And he was talking about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant's dress. I personally don't see anything. I mean, don't ask me, because I think women can dress however the fuck they want to dress. Who cares? I don't care if she walked in there with fishnet on. I don't give a fuck. That's her prerogative. But what's wrong with this dress? What is wrong with this? I'm not understanding. Tony Gaskins going out of his way to talk about this woman's dress. Now, I know some people like Tony Gaskins. From what I've seen, I'm not a fan of the guys. I'm not gonna be honest with you. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like what he has to say. He's very anti-black. He is very much a misogynist. Yeah, he says some things about men that I think are true and that I can agree with. But overall, no, he's not it. He ain't the answer, right? But I'm just thinking about it right now. If you guys go watch Tony Gaskins' video on this interaction between Dr. Bryant and Cam Newton, he talked about how she was dressed for 20 minutes. He tore her down for 20 minutes. He also said other stuff about her credentials and so on and so forth. Whatever, that's his opinion. But her dress, my guy, fuck out of here, man. And people like to hide behind that religion. People like to hide behind like the word of God and shit like that. And that's why I be like, y'all not. That's why that's why in that Bible that y'all like to read, Jesus told y'all to shut y'all fucking mouths. Stop. He said, don't be, just keep your faith close to your vest. Just walk it like you talk it, bro. You ain't got to say nothing to it. Just be the person you want. You don't like when people dress a certain way. You don't dress like that. But keep your mouth closed, though. Ain't no need in judging this woman. he sounded very much like a victim blamer. If you guys go listen to that video, he definitely sounded like the type of man that would be like, oh, what does she have on? If a woman says that she was SA'd or sexually harassed or something like that, he's definitely going to be asking, what does she have on? He's definitely going to be saying, well, she shouldn't have been wearing that. I guarantee you.
Come on.
What?
'Cause
You going or I'm going? Who going first?
You. I mean,
So I'm willing to, I think, late 20s.
man, this is where you turn the TV all the way up. Go ahead.
Late 20s
Okay.
would be the youngest. However,
we got to put a number on that, though. Like you 27, 26.
27-ish.
X's.
27. Oh, man. I personally didn't care for this part of the conversation. 41-year-old, 42-year-olds dating 20 anything sounds weird to me, but hey, she's an adult. She can do whatever she wants to do.
But
Okay.
again, it depends on the maturity level of that man.
But this is where I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
But this is where
I baited you. I knew where we were going.
your patience has
Be there.
to give him the
100%.
patience to bring his value
Yeah.
or his function up to his
100%.
value.
100%.
Right.
100%.
But
100%.
so now
100%.
100%
Yeah.
there too.
100%.
A woman
Yeah.
who has high value
Mhm.
will not entertain or be patient with a guy that does not have
Yeah. Especially if she has certain
100%.
100%.
100%.
He will. Especially if she has certain especially if she has certain criterions that she knows most men of her age won't meet.
That's
Yes, she has to.
So therefore, I'm telling you,
If
a
that's what
man
she
of high
wants, she has
value
to.
is a transactional type of thing. So to your point, it's I know I look at you. I look at women all the time. I have a beautiful establishment that we're in right now,
Right.
Fellowship. It garners a consumer that's about their business.
Mhm.
This is
Absolutely.
not hookah smoking and standing on couches
Right.
and
Twerking and
section.
doing
No,
the
it's
most,
not that.
Right.
This is sugar daddy's addy in here. This is businesswoman. No, you need to. We need to get this on.
Oh,
Right. I see it happen.
Yeah.
So many times.
Wow.
Dress code. You're not coming here with Jordans and flip flops. Like you can't do that. You can't disrespect the altitude.
Yeah, the culture of what's here.
You see what I'm
100%.
Cam is so freaking weird. You can't disrespect the altitude. Yeah, so ultimately, the last part was just funny to me. I just let it run because I thought it was hilarious. I'm not into dating. I mean, I ain't dating nobody anyway, but if I was dating, I wouldn't be dating no 20-something-year-olds. But, 28-year-old, I guess it could be, there's worse things. 13 years, 14 years difference. Weird to me, but not that bad. At least their brains are fully developed, for the most part. So I ain't gonna hold you. Especially with these men out here running around trying to date 19-year-olds and they in their late 30s and 40s and 50s. So, it ain't that bad. But yeah, ultimately though, I don't know. You guys take what you will from that. The title was odd. Thought it was weird. Seems like he's trying to throw some shade after getting cooked online. But he also could have just been doing it for clicks. Nonetheless, Dr. Bryant held her on once again and basically just told him told him what it was and what it wasn't. I'm like, you can't shame me by being like, you ain't even married. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm not married and I don't have kids. I'm like, congratulations. If you're congratulations. 41 years old, you made it through the gauntlet. You didn't fall into the trap. Congratulations, Dr. Bryant. I respect you for that. Absolutely. Round of applause. Round of applause. Shout out to everybody, men and women, 41 years old, childless, and are the better for it. Respect.